Welcome back, guys. We're going to be going to the Washington football team update, which in a way is truly therapy for me once a week. And I missed last week because of my injury. And boy, do I have a lot to say. This team, I don't even know if I can call it a team anymore. It's more of just a Dan Snyder owned organization. It's not entertainment, so it doesn't belong in the entertainment category. It's not even morally correct considering the team had a racist name for 80 or 90 years or whatever, however long the team has existed, after switching down from being the Boston Braves to being the Washington Braves to being the Skins. And I can't get over the fact that this team has sucked my entire life. My entire life, they have been bad. But somehow, it feels like it's worse than it's ever been. Now, that might have to do with the fact that two individuals in Congress have called on the NFL to now release some of the 650,000 emails that were investigated throughout the entirety of the Beth Wilkinson investigation. It might have to do with the fact that the team is atrocious, that the head coach is outdated and stupid loyal. It's the same reason why he got fired in Carolina was because he refused to move forward with new ideas in football after his ideas stopped working. We have a guy who's going back to Taylor Heinicke, who's one of the worst quarterbacks I have ever seen. And mind you, I have watched John Beck. I have watched Rex Grossman. I have seen Chase Daniels start games before he actually developed into even a mediocre backup quarterback. Taylor Heinicke is bad. His greatest stat line this year is 10 rushes for 90 yards. That's a 9-yard per clip carry. That's great. That's awesome for a running back. This guy is a quarterback who underthrows, overthrows, or throws behind all of his receivers. Every once in a while, he's got a hero moment. You know, that touchdown against the Buccaneers last year. That was pretty cool. Since then, he's been awful. I don't know why people still support this team. You know, there's people like my dad. My dad, who supports this team, he got to see them win 3 Super Bowls. So you know what? I kind of get it. But until Dan Snyder gets rid of this team, until the king cockroach himself gets rid of this team and not dies literally, I don't care, but, you know, just is no longer here owning this team in D.C., nothing's going to change. That was evident during the Packers game, considering the defense actually finally kind of played up to their potential. They could have been better, but they still kind of played up to their potential. You know, they only allowed 24 points. They were getting to Aaron Rodgers. They were looking surprisingly efficient. But they still sucked. Everything was still bad. Other than that pass rush, which they invested 4 first-round picks into, it was still bad. I'm trying my best to not get on here and ruin everybody's mood every single week that I do this. I'm really trying my best. So I apologize to all of the listeners who, a lot of which are my friends and family, who come in here and have to wonder, do I need to call Zach tonight? Like, is he okay? I don't want you guys to think that. But after what this team did to Sean Taylor, my favorite player, the jersey that I wear pretty much every single week is a Sean Taylor jersey, because that is the only jersey I can don with any sort of appreciation or pride for this team. After they did him so dirty last week, opening up Sean Taylor Road in front of porta potties, Dan Snyder showing up to the retirement ceremony in a sweatshirt, making sure that the family only got one jersey, a $4 billion estimated worth of this team, but they only gave one Sean Taylor jersey to an entire family of people, of whom probably deserved at least 8 or 9. Everything that they've done, and then to also, by the way, to do it during this new reopening of the investigations after everything happened with John Gruden, now Bruce Allen, and all this stuff. And apparently Dan Snyder could be the person leaking these emails, which seems counterproductive, if you ask me. But there's a really big theory right now that he's the one doing this. I'm being straight with y'all, with you, Rob, with you, Sergi. I'm not supporting this team anymore. I will continue to wear Sean Taylor jerseys because that is my favorite player of all time. I will continue to watch these games out of a commitment to this podcast, but I genuinely do not care about the Washington football team. I mean, obviously I'm angry, so I care enough to be angry, but I will no longer support this team until Dan Snyder sells the team. It's not going to be a situation where I'll figure this out. I'll be okay. I've had this moment before where I've been done with the team, but I've never seen something as egregious and as abhorrent as what they did by retiring 21's jersey that way. And the NFL is not making any moves on Snyder because they're just protecting their owners. And you know what? I guess I get it. A lot of the owners are probably trash people who have similar situations going on that they kept under wraps. But my hope is that Dan Snyder gets brought in to a hearing in Congress in D.C. and gets stripped of any ownership for his family of that team, and that the NFL is forced to remove the Snyder family. Because until that happens, I'm done with this team. I will watch the games for y'all. I'll break down things for y'all. I didn't even talk about the game this week other than Taylor Heineke sucks. It's the truth. I didn't really talk about it because at this point, the Washington football team update is less about the play on the field and more about how awful they are. And that is a fact. That is a bold-faced fact that it is not about the product on the field anymore, because we all know what to expect. We all know that they're going to blow it, that any opportunity that they have against a good team, they're gonna crush it. They're probably going to lose to Denver next week. Yeah. I think they'll probably win, honestly, but they're going to lose. And that's how I have to approach every single week being a Washington fan. I'm done with it. So there's y'all's update. The football team completely and totally disrespected the legacy of Sean Taylor and that of his family. They are currently being called upon by Congress to have an investigation into the Beth Wilkinson investigation, which is hilarious considering why. Oh, also, I saw this little, sorry guys, I'm almost done, I promise. I saw this little side story about how the NFL had like 1,000 or however many thousands of pages of information on Deflategate. The deflation of footballs required 1,000 pages of evidence or more. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to an entire team's culture, including sexual harassment, sexual assault, misogynistic ways, racial issues, all of those things being involved with it, no report. It's a joke. This team's a joke. And I'm done with it. So that's what I got for you guys.